Episode 3, No Hipsters Pod. It's your host, France, the founder of NoHipstersAllowed.com. And this week, our co-host is Sandy, a.k.a. Sandy International.
International Sandy in the building.
Say what's up to people.
Hi, guys. What's going on? I'm Cassandra, a.k.a. International Sandy, travel blogger, healthcare extraordinaire, and a whole host of other names. I got all kinds of titles behind my name.
Entrepreneur.
We're gonna keep it light.
No, but you are an entrepreneur though.
I am.
Cool line of sweaters and all that.
Entrepreneurs, shopforsandia.com.
All that. So episode 3, we're, still in the throes of coronavirus.
Shit's getting real.
Right, exactly.
Shit is getting real.
Really, it's kind of scary.
And real shit has gotten. Yes.
And people are at home. People who can be at home are at home, and the essential workers are out in the streets. Of which you're one of them. I don't know if you can talk about your experience.
Technically, I am an essential worker. Yeah, I'm a healthcare professional. I'm a pharmacist by trade.
Okay.
Luckily for me, my primary role, I telework. So DC, basically, gave all the, jobs an option of whether they want to have their workers telework or not.
What makes me sad, though, is that so many of the people that are referred to as essential workers were people we called unskilled labor until last week. I'm talking, specifically about the grocery store workers, many of whom don't have benefits. They don't have health insurance. And so if they did get COVID-19, they're really kind of shit out of luck because they couldn't go to the hospital or, do anything about it. And they're probably making like $12 an hour. So,
yeah, a lot of them are part-time workers. Some of them are full-time. Over the last couple of years, a lot of companies have increased their part-time workers so that they don't have to necessarily provide them as many benefits. Mm-hmm. Some of the people are just part-time because they got like 3 part-time jobs because that's all that was offered to them.
Right.
Benefits is always an issue when you're talking about corporations.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're essential, but I never like to refer to them as non-essential because I feel like
or as unskilled.
Right? Because at the end of the day, all of these people have a place. Everybody can't be a hedge fund, right? Or a trust fund baby or a rapper or something. Everybody plays their part.
Yeah.
And I think as what we call ourselves a civilized nation, everybody shouldn't have to be that to get basic, privileges and rights and respect, which is really what it is it's the respect factor.
Right. And I actually saw this really interesting meme about how so many of the essential workers who are the least paid are similar to the violinists on the Titanic when the ship was sinking.
Yeah, I saw that.
It really feels the same way. And, I think it's going to start I hope it's going to start lots of interesting conversations about who we consider as unskilled or whatever.
Honestly, the way America's going, no, it won't, because it'll be, after this passes over, people are going to forget because we are very short term with our attention span.
I get it. I actually have a bit of hope. I do think that this is going to lead to a lot of new conversation. I'm hopeful that it is. And I feel like it would have to because this feels a little different from anything that we've ever seen. I'm hopeful. If you're not hopeful, I understand
why.
I'm
not 100% hopeful.
Right. I totally get it.
I think that the conversations are being had by people, yes. But at the end of the day, if people don't hold our representatives
accountable
and Congress people accountable and our, all of our elected officials, judges, everything.
And speaking of Congress people, Rand Paul.
Yeah, I said, look, out of everybody who gets COVID, guess who gets the most?
The one person who voted against.
It seems like it's really leaning on the Republican Party because 5 of them are sitting at home.
Right, but in the Senate, he's the only one, and he's also the only one who voted against the.
But I heard that the other people, some other senators, had to be on quarantine because of their proximity.
Exposure to him. But he's the only one who's actually tested positive for it, and he was literally the only one who voted against the relief package. In related news, I think COVID-19. I'm trying to refrain.
Why can't you call it coronavirus? That's what it is. it's a human coronavirus.
Right. But
the more scientific name is COVID-19.
Yeah, because a lot of I think the common flu is a coronavirus as well, technically.
Well, it's a type of human corona. I mean, there's different coronaviruses, and so I think a lot of people want to be specific about which one.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of people talking about, well, they knew about coronaviruses, and I'm like, see, this is why science is important. Right. Because if science was important, people wouldn't be spreading all this information, but whatever.
Right. But in related news, I think it's produced a lot of great content.
The content is...
I mean, between the memes
gold.
and all the live concerts, DJ D-Nice actually, was the talk of the town over the weekend.
So I was in the building when Diddy bought the bar. Oprah brought around for everybody.
I had a section myself.
I bumped into Riri. I mean... It was live.
Yeah,
it was live.
Club Quarantine was the shit.
Club Quarantine was lit. I mean, I was jamming Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah.
He went and did a little set for Kenny Rogers. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Kenny Rogers.
Anybody who came in, he was like, yo, I got to put it down.
He shouted everybody out.
Everybody. No, literally everybody.
What's up, Jimmy Fallon? Jimmy Fallon is in here. Oh my gosh, Buju Banton is in here. Oh my gosh, Mariah Carey is in here. What's up, Mariah?
Yeah. He shouted out everyone.
It was good.
Michelle Obama was there.
Listen,
so, I mean, imagine being in the same club with all the celebrities commenting, all it was live, and the music was good.
It was he did such a good job, and I know a few other DJs like Questlove and even Diplo had his set as well.
I missed Diplo's set.
At this point it's hard to even keep up.
Right, because I've never seen so many IG lives in my life.
From celebrities, from regular people.
Yeah,
oh my god, all the challenges. I would like to abstain from all of it because I'm not.
So here's the thing. When mass boredom sets in, that's when all these challenges really proliferate, if you ask me, okay? So people are always trying to find creative ways to engage and poke fun and do all this, which is, there's a lot of things that are morbid about death and people getting sick and losing lung capacity and stuff like that. You can't spin that into something nice, right? But you can laugh and joke with people, and then, social interactions.
Oh, no.
Honestly,
hey, listen,
important.
I'd rather they do this and go out and try to
Well, people are still going out, and they messing up summertime for everybody.
Right.
They messing up summertime for everybody for sure.
Yeah,
sit your ass at home. So the sooner we get out of detention, the sooner we can be lit.
It's hard though. It's hard because it's not just staying at home. I mean, we can do that, but it's you're staying at home and you can't go to the gym, you can't run errands, you can literally.
Everybody's worried about that quarantine 15.
Right. Oh yeah,
I'm worried about it too because I'm an avid gym goer and I love my machines. So
Same.
I'm forced to run outside, and and it's actually kind of still nippy outside.
Yeah, a little bit. I tried to do 15 push-ups at random intervals.
Are you good?
Yeah, every now and then just do 15.
So I'm trying to get into the home workouts because my gym
difficult.
time was a little bit more relaxing for me. It was okay, I got a destination to go, and I'm a true extrovert, so being in the house all day is very, very... It's difficult.
It's rough.
But I will say that I'm very glad that most of the places have deemed liquor stores as essential services because I don't think I've had so many virtual happy hours. I think everybody had a virtual happy hour. People had virtual fetes. Last I went to a virtual party.
I mean, at this point, so my birthday's in 2 days, and so
Yes, cheers for the birthday. Toast for the birthday.
So, I mean, it's looking like I have a virtual party in my future, but...
you get a little DJ, set up a chat room. You can either do it on the app, I don't know if you can plug apps, but in case...
Yeah, I mean, Zoom, whatever.
There's Zoom, there's house parties. Zoom's actually really, really good. So the ones I did mine on were Zoom and then actually Google Hangout.
But anyway, changing gear a bit, we talked about this on the last show, but new pics have surfaced since then.
Ooh, okay, we get messy today.
No, not messy. We're just talking about what's in the news.
Okay.
About would-be governor Andrew Gillum. He was this close to being governor of Florida, former mayor of Tallahassee. He had the whole incident at the hotel room, and now we have pics, and the pics are
Incriminating.
Right. Incriminating, but like, I mean...
Salacious.
Extremely salacious. I don't know that we've seen anything that scandalous.
Intentional.
I mean, unless...
Those are very...
Correct me if I'm wrong. Have we ever seen, like, naked pics of a politician? I can't think of any.
I personally, I don't know. Yeah. I haven't.
I can't.
That I've searched for, but these
that would be
stumbled in my timeline, so I don't know. I didn't go searching for them, but
none of us did. But like,
so, but yeah, and
it's.
I really hope for his sake that if he is going through depression, alcoholism, and all that, that he definitely gets the
treatment he needs.
The treatment he needs and the support he needs. And honestly, he does deserve love, compassion, and empathy for his situation.
Definitely.
However, and I don't want that to negate what I said before, but you know how that goes. Right. It's going to negate what I said before.
It'd be like that.
I would be remiss if I didn't say that those pictures were a little telling. They were a little telling.
They more than a little, but
yeah, they were a lot telling. They were screaming. They were screaming
for sure.
I just feel like, the question always remains is, how did you get there?
I mean,
how did you get there?
It clearly wasn't his first time. I don't think that happens on a first time thing.
I don't even want to go that far into speculation about first time, last time, does it all the time. I just want to say that, number one, I'm not really too familiar. I know people, weddings are expensive. So, I mean, maybe people do have Thursday night weddings.
Right, because the alibi was that he was at a wedding earlier in the day.
There's a potential that there was a Thursday night wedding, but we have not seen any pictures of him at a wedding, so I don't know. I can't corroborate that. Neither could, Mr. Dyson. But I don't know. But I will say that whatever it is, I can tell that whoever he was with were not his friends.
Oh, definitely not.
Because if that was somebody I knew and you knew that I was a high profile person and you didn't get me out of that situation, then I know you don't love me and you don't care about me.
Right.
Right? Because in all honesty, this was a medical emergency, right? So somebody's overdosing. So yes, call 911. But he was not the one overdosing. He was just throwing up and drunk, according to the police report. Right? So why not get him out of there? And then when you see the pictures, it almost made it plainly obvious to me, my opinion only, was that he was set up. Because why is somebody taking naked pictures of this man, stepping on, you can see somebody's foot in one of the frames, on his hand, and taking pictures of stuff and all the stuff around him. So it's like, I don't know who took these pictures, but it seemed to be before the emergency services arrived, because all you saw was just their items. You didn't see anybody, and then, you don't see anybody working on the people. And then you see no pictures of the actual person who was reported to be having the cardiac arrest. So why are those the only pictures that surfaced that were related to the politician? Because he's a high profile person.
Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying, but because people wouldn't care if some random...
Right, but who released the pictures is the question.
Yeah, because first of all, he's naked on the internet anyway, so it wouldn't be as much of a thing. So...
But I mean, I honestly, my gut, again, only because of deductive reasoning, is that he was set up by whoever those people
I thought so from
Right. And then the pictures just kind of further make me believe he was set up.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that, his life and his kind of problems that he's facing now is being exposed in this way. It is unfortunate, but, sometimes, and I hope this doesn't come off callous, but you have to be aware of your surroundings, and it maybe take for you to be exposed for you to realize that you're self-destructive, and things are going awry, and you have to come to some point of rock bottom before you can realize, look, enough is enough.
Right.
I need the help I need to get. So I just, pray he receives the help he needs and that he can come back bigger and stronger and that the public can forgive him in some kind of way.
Changing gears again, there was this clip of this young woman who apparently is like a college student. I didn't realize at first. But she was on a podcast called Big Homie's House. And the clip went viral because she says that she only wants a man who makes fast money.
I always say, and people be looking at me crazy, like, I don't know if this because I'm from Chicago, but, like, I can't fuck with no nigga that work a 9 to 5. I don't know why. I just need a fast money-ass nigga. It don't necessarily have to be, like, drugs or, like, fraud, but, like rapping or, like, dealing with media or, like, shit like that. Just, like, get it.
You want a nigga with no... So, hold on. What
like, if I come to you and I need some shit, I don't need you to be like, well, my check come on Friday. Fuck that. I need you to get that shit right now.
Maybe sis is just a product of her environment, which is unfortunate that your environment has such limited exposure to 9 to 5 people who make money. Because, I mean, my exposure is there's plenty of 9 to 5 people who make quick money. But
I mean, at first I thought she was, I still think she's kind of not so smart, but now that I know that she's still in college, at least according to her Instagram profile, it's like, all right, whatever. She'll learn in a few years. But yeah.
I mean, I feel like
and unless,
the
like,
education system has failed her.
No, she goes to Clark, Atlanta. So.
The education system has failed her. Shout out to HU. Don't get it twisted. You know.
Wow.
Sorry, look, I gotta call a spade a spade. But social media, everybody thinks that quick money is where it's at, and everybody wants to be famous overnight. Everybody doesn't want to have to work for $1, and they just don't value hard work, budgeting. And then when stuff goes awry, you looking for a handout, or you don't have money saved up because you want to impress people. You want to have fast money. You want somebody to be paying. I'm like, she's a college student, so I don't know whether she has an income or whether she doesn't have an income, but if you really work for your money and it's not coming quickly, you have a greater appreciation for it. And so, I mean, kudos to her. She found a rapper, a ball player, whatever, who got
a drug
dealer. She said it don't have to be that, but she okay with that,
right.
But if you find that, then good. But I mean, that's not the root of life, and that's not the root of happiness. It's like, when people who really make money know that they need to keep it. So if you just want and it's just kind of like your mindset is that you want somebody to have quick money so that you can have money when you need it. So then what happened to you having a job?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the whole thing is just, it's really kind of embarrassing. But like I said, I became like less judgmental of her when I found out how young she was.
Oh, that was you. I didn't.
Okay. Because at first I just thought, I was like, who says this? Because I mean, and then
But this is why social media is failing the youth, because they have perspectives like this.
Right.
I love city girls. Shout out to city girls. But
city girls.
You gotta take them with a grain of salt. I mean, that can't be the life you aspire to. That can't be the life everybody aspires to. You know what I mean? Right. You listen to it, it's fun to dance to, but that's not life for most people. So this idea that you got to have a guy who's scamming and making money so you can buy you a Birkin bag, that can't be your real life goals and aspirations.
I mean,
and if they are, look, hey,
hate to see
do you? But that can't be everybody. So while you don't want a guy who wants 9 to 5, that's fine.
And I'm actually trying to put that up.
That leaves the 9 to 5 hedge funders and trust fund babies for me. You know what I mean? So
I'm actually trying to put her thing on Chicago. Or maybe.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of people in Chicago making good money working 9 to 5. I know a guy who brings in $500,000 working 9 to 5 in Chicago and flies in helicopters. So, you know what I mean? But again, that's probably only what she sees where she's from. She doesn't see those kind of guys. You know what I mean? She doesn't see the doctors that go in and make good money, and they're technically 9 to 5ers too. I mean, she doesn't see the corporate execs that are bringing in $300,000, $400,000. The lawyers that are doing that. She doesn't see that. Because so when she thinks of people who make money, unfortunately in the hood or in those type of environments, it's going to be the ball players. It's going to be the rappers. It's going to be the scammers. It's going to be the drug dealers.
Gotcha.
She doesn't see lawyers because they not living in.
They don't see her.
Right. Well, you're right about that.
All right, so winners and losers. I will let our guest host Cass go first. Who's your winner and loser of the week?
So I would have to say for the week, I'm going to go with the good news first.
Okay.
Definitely winner of the week was DJ D Nice.
Of course.
He went from like a little under 200,000 followers or maybe 200,000 followers to over 1 million followers because his music brought
the world
together. I'm sure his Cash App was on fleek. He probably made good money from people tipping at the bar. He had, honestly, the biggest array of celebrities you can have in one place. Joe Biden stopped by. Bernie Sanders stopped by. I mean, you had Diddy, Michelle Obama, and his music was just popping. It was like homeschool set was just live. To the point where he did it again on Sunday and people still joined in.
Yeah.
And he even got up to...
a bigger audience on Sunday.
Yeah, bigger audience on Sunday. So he went up to 103 on Saturday.
He went to 140 something.
No, 153 because I took a screenshot. It was 150 something.
There you go.
153 that he got up to in the beginning. And it's like, even though IG, I think it shuts off every hour. It felt like every hour was getting shut down.
Right.
People would sign right back on, and then we'd be right back jamming. So my winner for last week was definitely DJ D Nice. Kudos. We love what he's doing. Love the music. Love the vibes.
Nice.
Now to the losers.
Oh, man.
Would have to be all those kids who went to spring break and didn't think that coronavirus. It was like one news report of like a team. It was like 6 people who went to spring break and they all caught coronavirus because they all stayed in one Airbnb.
University of Tampa has announced that 5 students who were traveling together over spring break have now tested positive for coronavirus.
And so they have to be the biggest losers of 2020 so far because they thought because they were young and they were, invincible that they couldn't get coronavirus, and all 6 of them stupid people got coronavirus.
And that's just a small sampling. I'm sure they're like tons.
Oh, I'm sure that, first of all, they probably got more than coronavirus. Right. Let's be real.
That's right.
It's spring break. They probably got more than coronavirus. Right. But it's like, you put yourself at health, you put your health at risk, you put everybody at risk. When we're trying to stay home, you want to be out on the beach, all willy-nilly, drinking yourself to a stupor.
Yeah, and the news story came just days after there was other clip that just showed a ton of kids in Florida.
I get corona. At the end of the day, I'm not going to let it stop me from partying. We've been waiting for Miami spring break for a while. About 2 months we've had this trip planned. 2-3 months. So we're just out here having a good time. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
On spring
Miami
break.
had to shut down the beach because it was too insane. And so, I get it. These kids, they want to have fun. They don't want to lose their money, their deposits and all that. But instead, they got coronavirus. So, that's what they got.
Hate to see it.
Well, they deserve it for being stupid. Stay your ass at home.
Right. All right. So, my winner of the week is an Instagram user called Keeping It Kinky. She is a healthcare professional, and she went viral this past week for putting out PSAs about the COVID-19 pandemic.
At the end of the day, whether you think it's BS, whether it's over-sensationalized, at this point, it really doesn't matter. The point is the government has the power to sit us down. So the longer that you take to do your part, the longer that we're going to be in this mess. And let me tell you, when people feel a financial burden, they feel like there's a lack of options and a lack of resources, people get stupid and people get scary. So just do your part to help out your fellow neighbor. Because listen, you're about to need a different type of protection in a minute because it's Aries Nation. And we're just a little bit of a more aggressive type of folks, okay?
And she made a really good point as an Aries, like she is. She's March 26th. I'm March 25.
Shout out to the Leos.
It's Aries season. You can't take our shine. Come on.
You can take all the COVID shine y'all want to. Because guess what? Summertime, baby.
Oh, man. But anyways, she said that, she's Aries season, first of all, was the dub, but she was making really, really important points about people not using up very limited resources and people staying home so we get through this quickly. And so she's gone viral, and she's funny, and she made some really good points in ways that people can understand.
Sis got it. Sis is definitely a winner.
For sure.
Definitely a winner. Thanks for spreading the awareness, sis.
Definitely, because we need it. And the loser of the week will have to be...
Dun, dun, dun.
Sabrina Elba.
I 100% concur. I concur. It's been seconded.
Because, I mean...
And not just because I love Idris Elba and he fine. That ain't it.
She was under his nose right where he was like making the video last week telling us he was positive for COVID-19, and she comes this week, you know, I mean, she said she was surprised and neither was anyone else.
Neither was anybody else. Absolutely not.
It's like at some point you have to wonder, like, I mean maybe she thought that she had it already, so that's why she wasn't taking any precautions, but yeah, she's definitely...
Well, here's the thing, and like I said, I'm sure she meant well, but just watching the video of like Idris trying to tell it and me being thoroughly distracted with her in the background, like if you were to say that there's essential workers and non-essential workers, she was absolutely a non-essential worker in that video. Like she could have stayed out of the limelight. She was not necessary. It's about Idris right now.
Yeah,
you're over there and you're just making all these movements. You were not, and then it's like he has it and you're there. So it's like, okay, maybe you could have caught it. Maybe you didn't have to. You could have social distanced yourself in your house. You could have wiped down. You could have did whatever precautions. So now if you have half your lung left over, you can't blame nobody but yourself, sis.
Well, I guess the saying is in sickness and in health, and she means it, so...
Well, that's in his sickness and health, not in your sickness and health, sis. Like, and I'm glad she doesn't have symptoms, so let's be real. Like, I'm not wishing, because if she did, something happened to her, it just would be single again. But I don't wish that on anybody. I don't wish that on anybody.
Episode 3, No Hipsters Podcast. Thank you so much for stopping by.
No problem. If you guys want to check me out, you can check me out as Sandy is International. That's SANDYIS. International. And you can check out my shop, which is Shop for Sandia. That's at Shop for Sandia on Instagram. You can check out my products, shopforsandia.com. SAN. Oh, wait. Okay.
DIA.
Yeah, let me go back.
That brown juice got you.
Right. Look, getting a little dry. So my website for my merchandise is shopforsandia.com. That's shopforsandia.com.
Gotcha.
Also on Instagram. But yeah, check me out. I got a lot of new products coming out soon. So go ahead and hit that follow button for my travel blog and my shop. And check me out for my future releases. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you so much for stopping by.
Make sure you guys wash your hands, social distancing, and, stop buying up all the toilet paper.
Episode 3. See you next week. Bye.